Iron Dames has made it to the history books. For the first time in the team's history competing in the WEC, they are victorious. Not only did they take their first victory, but they are also the first all-female team to take a win in the World Endurance Championship. For this video, I will talk about the incredible achievement that the team Iron Dames has secured. During the 2023 season, the team Iron Dames has gotten so close to taking victory in the GTE-AM category. The team has been extremely consistent the entire year. Besides an 8th place finish in Sebring, they have been in the top 5 in every single race, leading up to the final one in Bahrain. The Iron Dames project was first established in 2019 by the Iron Lynx team, and the purpose was to help support and promote women in motorsport. The Italian team has been racing in the WEC, specifically in the GTE-AM category, since 2020. During their career so far in the WEC, the Iron Dames crew has been very competitive. For example, up until Bahrain, the number 85 entry from Iron Dames secured 5 different podiums in the WEC. And while they were victorious with their Ferrari 488 GTE in the European Le Mans Series, they had never won in the World Endurance Championship. And with the GTE regulations being replaced by GT3 regulations in 2024, time was running out for Iron Dames to pick up a victory in the GTE era of the WEC. So the team knew as they headed into the 8 hours of Bahrain, this would be their last chance to win with their Porsche GTE entry before they moved over to run a Lamborghini GT3 in 2024. So let's move into the question, how did Iron Dames take this extraordinary victory with limited time remaining in the GTE era? Well, it all began with a sensational lap put in by Iron Dames driver Sarah Bovy in the qualifying session of Bahrain. The Belgian racer put the Iron Dames Porsche 911 RSR on pole position with a lap time of a 1 minute 58.692. Bovy's lap time was 0.3 faster than Liam Talbot's time in the D-Station Aston Martin entry. This must have been great news for the Iron Dames crew, as this would move them closer to potentially getting that illustrious first race victory in the WEC. At the beginning, that 85 car led the GTE field heading down into turn 1, and thankfully the Iron Dames Porsche was able to safely navigate through the incident that happened between the Van Wall and some LMP2 entries. This actually allowed the pink Porsche to gain an advantage on the other entries. For the next few hours, it was actually a battle between the number 85 Iron Dames Porsche and their teammates, the number 60 Iron Lynx Porsche. They traded positions for the race lead, but it was ultimately those two Porsches out in front, with a fair gap heading into the midpoint of the race to the Aston Martins sitting third and below. As we headed into the night, Iron Lynx were leading with the number 60 Porsche. Iron Dames were sitting second, as both Porsches made their cycle of pit stops. They were both running pretty good and had a good gap to the rest of the GTE field. But during this time, Iron Dames was sitting in second position, not in first. So if they were going to win their first race victory in the GTE category before it went away, this meant they would likely have to pass their teammates in the Iron Lynx Porsche. However, in the final 3 hours of the event, the number 60 Iron Lynx Porsche, which had led a lot of that race, was forced to retire. The reason was not reliability, and it wasn't car damage. It was actually due to one of the drivers not feeling well. According to Autosport.com, the WEC says the bronze-rated drivers need to complete at least 2 hours and 20 minutes of driving time. And considering that Claudio Schiavone, their bronze-rated driver, was unable to do this, that is ultimately why Iron Lynx decided to retire the Porsche. Iron Lynx made the best call. The driver's safety is a priority ahead of the team's result. In my opinion, that was the right call and a well thought out move from the Italian team. When the car was retired, the number 85 Iron Dames Porsche quickly inherited the lead of the 8 Hours of Bahrain in the GTE AM field. But it wouldn't be an easy end of the race for Iron Dames if they wanted to finish first. In the final hour of the race, the 777 D-Station Aston Martin was hunting down the Iron Dames Porsche, and with 30 or so minutes remaining, the 85 Porsche was under 2 seconds ahead of the D-Station Aston. Things were getting really intense for Iron Dames if they were going to win this race. With this intense pressure looming in on who would win the final GTE race, Michel Gatting put in an incredible stint to hold off that 777 D-Station Aston Martin for around 30 or so minutes with a gap of around 2 seconds. This was super intense, and thankfully for Iron Dames, that gap never went lower than a second. In fact, it actually increased. So as the checkered flag fell, Michel Gatting in the number 85 Iron Dames Porsche came across the line to give the Italian team their first win in the World Endurance Championship. A truly remarkable moment for the entire Iron Dames crew, who had fought for over 3 years to take a victory in the GTE AM class. And they did it in their final race with the Porsche 911 RSR and the final race of the GTE era. So I have to say huge congratulations to Sarah Bovy, Rahel Frey, and Michel Gatting and the whole Iron Dames crew for achieving this incredible result during the 8 Hours of Bahrain. Iron Dames are finally race winners in the World Endurance Championship. The question now is, what can they do in 2024 and beyond? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in endurance racing and you're not subscribed yet, I highly suggest you do so. I make content on WEC and IMSA every single week. And speaking of content, here are some videos you can watch right now. So thanks for watching, I'll see you all in the next video.